Hello everyone, I'm Francesca. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a bake with me. I have these adorable tins from Nordic Ware. I have this one from last year and then I just got this one, and I wanted to do some fun holiday baking. I wanted to make like a vegan eggnog cake. I have not tried this recipe. We're gonna try it out together and hopefully it works. So let's get baking. So when I was thinking about how I was gonna make this recipe, I went into my cookbook and I took my vanilla cupcakes recipe and I just kind of like added some things in there and like figured it out like that. The first thing we're gonna do is use a vegan egg replacer, and all you have to do is you just mix this with water. This is Bob's Red Mill. It's like a potato starch base. You could use a flax egg, you could use a chia egg, you can use, there's one from Energy, but these are good. You just mix them with a little water and it works as a binding agent in your recipes. We needed to get a little bit of a bigger bowl for that. I'm just actually gonna pour it all into a 1 cup measuring cup. I always do that. I always pick things that are like too small to mix in. It is a character flaw on my part. So you just mix this with water and it'll thicken and it's great. So we just let this sit to the side for a few minutes and it'll thicken up. Whenever I make cakes or like cupcakes, I always like to use a hand mixer. You can mix this by hand if you don't have one, but I do find it easier to do with the hand mixer. You could use a stand mixer too, but because these are like smaller batches, they're not like a lot of batter, I feel like the stand mix is just too big. So that's why I personally like the hand mixer, and you can find some really good ones for not that expensive. So I definitely recommend having a hand mixer in your kitchen arsenal. So we're gonna add in all the wet ingredients. I have a nice big bowl here and we'll get started on making our batter. First things first, we need 1 stick of softened butter. This is half a cup of vegan butter. I'm using, actually it's like a store brand from ShopRite, but you know, you could use the Miyoko's, you can use Earth Balance. Just make sure it's softened like this, so that way it'll churn up really nicely. We're going to add in half a cup of vegan sour cream. This is the one from Tofutti. The sour cream and the butter work really well together to make a really nice, moist cake and make it light. The batter you'll see will probably be really thick, but the cake itself is gonna come out super light and fluffy. Okay, remember our vegan egg replacer? It's really nice and thick now, and this is what you want it to look like. That's the texture, so we're putting that in there as well. This recipe is going to be so easy because it's just going to be combining wet and dry ingredients and that's it. We're going to go in with vanilla and almond extract, both of these. We'll do a teaspoon of vanilla. This morning I tried to make an eggnog smoothie bowl and I added in way too much almond extract. I learned my lesson. So we'll do a teaspoon of vanilla. I also saw a TikTok where a girl says that she wears vanilla extract as a perfume, and I feel like I'm not opposed to it. And then we'll do half a teaspoon of the almond extract. I'm scared because I don't want to add too much now because my smoothie will taste good this morning, but it was just a lot of almond extract. We need to obviously add in eggnog. I have a 3/4 cup of vegan eggnog here. I'm using one from Trader Joe's. It's an oat milk based eggnog. It smells so good, it tastes really good. So, you know, you can use, there's a bunch of them. Silk has one, Almond Breeze has one. There's a lot of brands out there that make them. This one is really good though. I like it. I like that it's oat milk based. So it's the Trader Joe's eggnog. And if you want to make your own homemade recipe, you can do that too. I have a recipe on here, but it's not that good, so don't go looking for it. Now we're just going to use our mixer. We're going to mix it on a pretty low speed to start. The only goal here is just to get all of those wet ingredients combined. You can bump it up 1 notch on the speed, but keep it relatively low here. So the vegan sour cream might not break down all the way, but we're looking for something relatively smooth and relatively well incorporated. You don't need to blend it for more than like 30 seconds to a minute. Don't go overboard with this. We only have 3 dry ingredients to add. All-purpose flour. Now, people who are gonna ask me about gluten-free replacements, you can try using gluten-free all-purpose flour. I have not tried it myself. I usually don't try gluten-free alternatives because I'm not gluten-free, and I know like people want the gluten-free alternatives, but there's a lot more dedicated blogs out there to gluten-free recipes. So I would just make the suggestion you could try swapping a gluten-free all-purpose flour. The Bob's Red Mill one is also a great substitute for that. It's a 1-to-1, you know, substitute. So we have our all-purpose flour. We have organic sugar because if you didn't know, if you don't, well, I almost just threw my sugar everywhere. If you don't use organic sugar, sometimes they process sugar in the US with bone char, which is kind of gross in my opinion. So just make sure you use organic sugar. You know, everyone kind of has it. I get mine like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or somewhere like that. Even just regular food stores have it though. And also I like the Florida Crystals one too. And then in here we just have a little bit of baking powder. This probably looks so itty bitty on the camera. And that's all we're gonna do to add these in, and that's it. We're gonna add in that baking powder. Come on. Aren't these pinch bowls just the cutest? I got them from RV Pottery. Sometimes I sift and sometimes I don't. It truly depends on my mood, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not in a sifting mood today, so we're not sifting. Sifting is good and it can be really beneficial if the flour is super lumpy, but I think it'll be fine because we're gonna mix this with the hand mixer. And then our sugar. Beautiful. Now we're just going to mix this until it is combined. I'm going to mix on a very low speed because I don't want to overmix this, and you may need to get a really cute little spatula and wipe down the sides of your bowl. Okay, the really cute spatula part is optional, but you know what I mean. And it's a thick batter. Our batter is looking pretty good. I'm gonna scrape it down one more time on the sides and just do one more little beating of it, and then that should be good. So once the mixer starts making like ribbons in the cake, like the thick ribbons, we're good. We're good to go. One of my biggest fears in life are my cakes not coming out of their pans. I seriously mean that. And before I went vegan, it was drinking spoiled milk. To prevent any sticking, I always like to use a baking spray that is made with flour. This is the Pam one, and I just spray the heck out of these pans. I spray them really good, especially these because they're so detail oriented. I try to get into every nook and cranny of this pan. So that's my best recommendation for getting, you know, cooking things that will actually come out and that we don't have to deal with any sticking. I got 2 filled in here. I think the smarter way to do this is I tried pouring it the first time, the batter directly in, but I think the better way is just to spoon in the batter. These Nordic ware pans, I love them, and they're obviously so cute, but because we're dealing with interesting shapes here, it can be a little bit difficult to kind of really assess how much batter to put in, how to spread it out. It's easier to spoon it in, I think. Obviously, our batter is going to rise as it bakes, so we have to also leave some space. This is honestly very stressful. Like, I don't know. Do you guys ever see that guy on TikTok who makes the chocolates? I can't think of his name. And he makes these like 90-pound sharks and whales and all made out of chocolate, or like he made like a functioning telescope. And I'm just like, that is crazy because I'm freaking out over here trying to fill up a cake pan. I'm gonna fill up our snowflakes and then we will bake this. Both of these in here, ready to go. This batter made 12 cakelets. You could also do these in a bun pan, or you could do this in like a baking loaf. So we're gonna pop these in the oven at 350 Fahrenheit for probably 20-ish minutes. When it comes to baking with the Nordic ware pans, you gotta put it on some sort of a sheet pan because it just won't sit even on your baking rack since the bottom is all grooved and designed and everything. So we'll pop these in the oven and I'll see you when they come out. Having an internal dilemma because part of me is like, do I just put powdered sugar on top of them and like sprinkle it on there and just let them look cute like that? Or the other part of me is like, do I make an eggnog glaze? I could do one of each. I could do like one of the cakes with powdered sugar and one of the cakes with an eggnog glaze and just see what I like better. Decisions. So our cakelets are done. I just let them bake for 23 minutes and then I stuck a toothpick in them just to make sure that the toothpick came out clean. They look really good. So with these pans, I like to let them cool in the pan for like about like 10-ish minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So that way it's like definitely like really set in there. When you pop it out, it doesn't crumble apart, and then we'll flip them out. So we're just gonna let them cool for a little bit. They're still hot. They're radiating heat. We gotta wait. The time has come. I think we can get them out of their pans. I'm going to do the snowflakes first. And I usually can tell that it's like pretty good to go because I can hold this pan now. It's warm, but it's not hot. And I can also see that the cakes have pulled away from the sides a little bit. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take the wire rack and I'm going to place it over the cake thing, the cake pan, and we're going to flip it. I have a spatula here just in case I need to bang anything or like, you know, scoop anything out. But we're actually just gonna take a knife and we're gonna tap on them like that. And we're gonna see if anybody comes out. People might not. And by people, I mean the snowflake cakes. Let's see. All of them came out. They're perfect. Look at them. They're gorgeous. They listened. They look so good. So we're gonna do the same thing. Take the wire rack, put it over, flip it, and then we'll give everybody, you could use your hands too. Let's see if anybody popped out. Oh my goodness. How freaking cute are these? I cannot. Oh my God. I love them. Okay, I am so happy with how these turned out. They're just so freaking cute. I can't believe it. And they smell so good. I'm so happy. So from looking at them, I think I do just want to only throw a dusting of powdered sugar on them. I think that'll just be the best bet because they look so pretty. Some of the snowflakes didn't come out as well as I had hoped, but they still look cute. Like the whole scene of it looks cute and the trees look really cute. So I'll have both pans linked down below in case you want to order them. I kind of like get myself one every season. So then like, I just keep getting more and more. But they're just always fun to bake with because it just, everything comes out looking really special and pretty. And it really wasn't too much effort. So let's throw some powdered sugar on these guys. Powdered sugar is just like the ultimate winter topping on any baked treat because it looks like snow. It just looks so, so cute. I'm in love with these. What I love about these recipes with these pans is that you look like a master baker. Like you look like you could be on the Great British Baking Show, but this wasn't hard work at all. This is a super easy recipe to make. It's seasonal, it's fun, it's delicious, and you have these little cakelets that just look so fancy and gorgeous, but they weren't hard to make at all. And honestly, like as much as I do love making homemade cookies, this is so much easier than cookies because the pan does all the work for you. We should do a little taste test, right? So I'm gonna grab, because I still have to take pictures, so I'm gonna try to grab one of the uglier snowflakes. This guy kind of wasn't our best looking snowflake, so break them apart. Oh yeah, it's like super fluffy on the inside. These are super moist on the inside. It tastes like a really fluffy vanilla cake. But all of that eggnogginess. Wow, is that moist inside though. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Full write-out recipe for these will be on the blog, and I'll see you soon with another holiday recipe. Bye guys.